Techies and scientists, welcome back to the channel. We have another very epic week. There's a lot going on around the world, and yeah, let's get into it. So this week we had the CPI. I meant to say the CPI, and it was very uneventful. It was just a small blip in the radar, not much going on there. And we also had the personal income outlay and also consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. Not much to look at. As far as quarterly report is concerned, there was not much going on there this week. So it's been pretty much, I don't want to say quiet on the market, but it's been going sideways. But on the other side of the world, there's still a whole lot going on. As long as we have this.
Your eyes are not deceiving you. A gas station in LA was spotted charging more than $8 a gallon for gasoline. Now, gas prices aren't nearly that high in most of the United States. The average price for a gallon of regular gas in the US is $3.48 as of Monday morning, but that's up 50 cents or 17% since the start of the war.
I'm not even filling up right now. I'm just barely, trying to get by with, putting 20 in, but that's not going to last all week.
Oil prices crossed over $100 a barrel for the first time since Russia's invasion of Ukraine 4 years ago. The price of oil could keep rising and go even higher if travel through the Strait of Hormuz doesn't resume soon. Iran has threatened to attack vessels that go through the strait. That's the narrow waterway where roughly 20% of the world's oil travels. And analysts say this is by far the biggest disruption to oil production on record. The Trump administration says they're trying to fix this. They've announced a plan to provide insurance to oil tankers passing through the Strait of Hormuz. They also say they're working to secure naval escorts for ships, but a concrete plan has yet to emerge. In a social media post, President Trump called the rising oil prices a, quote, very small price to pay. The real question is, how long does this last? If this situation continues for weeks or even months, then you will start hearing concerns about a recession in the U.S.
Is very high at this point. So we also have gold, not making a whole lot of movement there. So let me see. So we have gold, kind of like dipping down, not going sideways. I have my eyes on silver. However, we have all these promises for silver and AI and everything else. So it seems like this might be it might be ticking up a little bit when the demand for that AI is concerned. But again, at the end of the day, if that conflict that's going on around the world, if that doesn't get resolved, we may see a slump rather than things going up to the moon. So that right now for Brent crude oil, we are sitting at 98.71. It's creeping and creeping slowly. Let's see how we are doing as far as the seasonal tendency is concerned. So as far as seasonal tendency is concerned, as you can see, this is not a normal market conditions. So with that being said, things are not going as normal as usually as it would. So instead of price start going up on the 13, or you'll probably do a small dip and start going up either around 313 on that day. So we have price dipping lower and lower. Instead of making a higher low and then go higher, it made a lower low. So we have a SMT diversion as far as seasonal tendency is concerned. We also have the price of well, not the price. We have the dollar going up as well, as we have this conflict going on around the world. Everybody, believe it or not, they are flooding and fleeing to the dollar because for right now, that's the only currency that is stable and that is global that people accept. But that may change at some point. So there's a lot of things going on. There's also there's a private investments, and we have a lot of cockroach, that's being discovered. BlackRock freezing people account. So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on around the world, and like they always say, is when the tide goes off, when the tide recedes, that's when you know who's swimming naked, and it seems like we have a whole lot of people swimming naked here. Uh, So what do I have going on for next week? Let's take a look at the calendar for next week. Next week we do have the FOMC projection. Obviously, it's gonna be on Wednesday, March 18 at around 2. You already know what I'm going to say, right? When it comes to FOMC, it's a dual trading strategy. If it goes one way at 2 p.m., at around 2:30, 2:45, it's gonna go the other way. Worst case scenario is just gonna go sideways and kind of like do a seek and destroy. Okay, so at the end of the day, with everything going on now, I would say just stay on the sideline and then wait until 3:15 when every smoke cleared out, 2:45, 3:15, and then I'll say that's when you will re-engage and start trading. And then we have the unemployment claims, obviously on the Thursday the 19th. Not much going on there. So I would say wait for next week. The big item would be at 8:30 for the PPI, and then at 2 p.m. we'll also have the FOMC. That's what I would look forward into. As far as price wise, where things might go, I mean, right now things are going sideways. Um, it's kind of like very difficult to know where things are going until we get like around April toward the end of March and April. It's kind of it's very hard to say exactly where price is gonna go one way or the other, and it's because we have all these hedge funds, and then they put a lot of a lot of calls, a lot of puts, and until the hedge fund they convert the portfolio, we are going to have a little bit of sideways price action, and of course confidence into the economy, into the U.S. military, to open the Strait of Hormuz. So me, I'm anticipating when Sunday open, I'm anticipating price to gap lower, maybe get to the half 24 to 31, and then maybe we trace a little bit higher all the way up to this high here, which is at 24,805. Maybe we trace higher up until that gap, and then go sideways like it did here, and then start going lower and lower again. So we're just gonna go into that big pattern there. So when you look at it on a daily basis, so there's a lot of staging going on, and it's being staged to go lower. So this is what I mean. So we have a reversal here, making the high at 26,648. We have stage going lower, going sideways, going lower and higher, and then you have your low risk sell, and then you have your small consolidation here, and then you have your second consolidation here. More than likely, at some point into the future, maybe a week, maybe next week or the week after, you get a big leg pull lower, and then go higher. Maybe get either at the tip of the range of this. Let me highlight the range. So this is the range that I'm talking about. So you may get price when price start going lower below 2400. You may get a small pullback, or most more like pullback, pull up into maybe 24 to 39, somewhere around that range, and then consolidate and then go lower. So we're anticipating a whole lot of price action going lower here. I mean, I don't see anything here that's indicating that price is gonna surge higher. I mean, even if the Feds cut the rates, I mean, really, it's not going to help. There's a high possibility if this conflict goes on for longer, we may have gasoline and oil going higher, which is gonna bleed into high inflation. And with high inflation, that would mean that the Fed will have to increase rate to contain that inflation. And you already know Wall Street loves cheap money. When you get rid of cheap money, what does that do? Kind of bring it lower. So there's a lot of pressure for price to go much lower. And then we have the Fed leaving. We're bringing a new Fed. I think it's around May or something. But even if you bring that new Fed, you may get a little bit of jolt higher. And then this is when I anticipating one price pull lower. That's when I'm gonna anticipate where price is gonna retrace a little bit higher. It's gonna give you the conviction that is gonna pull higher and higher. But if until price breaks above 24, 25, 496, I mean, I'm talking about get up and close higher. That's the only way I would know that price is bullish. But as long as price remain lower than 25,496, I'm betting my money to go lower. It's just retracement higher to go lower. Okay, and there has to be very good news for price to go back into bullish. So this is my prognostication for this week and next week, over the next few days going on. Please be careful. There's a lot of volatility out there. The greed index is very high. I mean, the fear index is very high. So it's not time to be greedy yet. The time to be greedy will come, but just not at this point. With that being said, you guys, I'm happy trading, and I'll talk to you next week in our live streams.